first time one of these things came into the shop, I was like, whoa, old school Land Cruiser. Then we lifted up the hood because there's a hood screw. Like, huh? That wasn't in it back then. So apparently this is a Land Cruiser LC76, which basically it looks old, but has modern running gear, meaning it has the same, well, it's still a V8, but it's a single turbo as compared to the twin turbo of the Land Cruiser 200. So, but still, it's a modern engine in an old chassis, which is quite frankly very amazing. If you like the old school looks, but want modern reliability and power, then this is the car to get. So what this car is doing here is, of course, heck, he wants more power out of the V8, and what we're going to be doing, we're going to be doing a full bore exhaust on it. And then, of course, and yes, this thing can be remapped also, so that's what we're going to be doing. So the usual baseline dyno, exhaust dyno again, then tune, and let's see what we get. But first, I'd like to take a look at the interior of this thing. Everything is old and amazing. Like this one, you don't see flat window switch, door lock like this anymore. It's really amazing. This is a bit modern. This kind of looks like an FJ Cruiser console here, right there. So this is modern running gear. The steering wheel, well, the really old one's 3-spoke. So this is a bit more modern one from the late 80s, 90s 4-spoke Toyota steering wheel. But everything else, from the door panels, well, it's a flat panel. You don't see this anymore also. So it's all old school. Even the mirror's old school. This thing's frankly amazing. All right, let's see how much power it makes. Dyno, and then this is what we have. It's 150 horses to the wheel and almost 400 Newton meters. So comparing this to the Land Cruiser 200, a stock LC 200 makes 200 to the wheel and around 425, 450 Newton meters. So the single turbo, twin turbo really does make a difference. Give or takes about 50 horses. So we're gonna take it out of the dyno now, put it there on the lifter to make the full bore exhaust for this one using 3-inch stainless piping. And then back to the dyno for remapping. Right there. Okay, this is the file for our Land Cruiser 76, and these things here are the maps. So we have, it's basically grouped into categories: air control, boost pressure, BNT, driver request, which is basically throttle, injection volume, so on and so forth. Limiter, rail pressure, yada yada. And each one of these things is the map. So let's start with rail pressure. So this is the rail pressure map, and pretty much what ECU remap and tuning means is just basically changing out the numbers here. Let's say we want a bit more. Here, change that. This, there. Limiter, 50,000. This is one that everybody wants. Speed limit, 250. Let's make it 300. So basically, what I'm doing is exactly what tuning is. So we're changing a couple of values around, and then what we're going to be doing is we're going to export this now. Black again. Now 105. That's it. Once it's saved, we go to our reader writer software here, plug it in, and then we just hit the right button, of course with the cable attached to the car. And that's pretty much what remapping is. So we might be wondering, if it's that easy, why can't I do it myself? Exactly, that's the question, isn't it? If it's that easy, you should be able to do it yourself, but the thing is, it's not. We make it look easy because this is what we do day in, day out. Same thing when you go to, say, graphic artist. Put my face on somebody else's body. The graphic artist will take all 5 minutes to do it. He makes it look easy, but you can't, because number one, you don't know the software. Number two, you don't know what to adjust. You don't know the commands. And most importantly, you don't know the techniques to do it. So yes, we make it look easy, but that's pretty much the same of every other profession. Let's say you go to a doctor. He'll take probably about 10-15 minutes to pretty much narrow down what exactly is wrong with you, then order a little bit more tests. He makes it look easy, but again, to get that knowledge that he has, it took years for him to get it. It's the exact same way with tuning a car. What you're paying for is not me pressing a few buttons on the keyboard. What you're paying for is me and what I have here on my head. That's gained through years of trial and error. So that's why tuning is called a practice. Because every time there's something new to do, and every time a new car comes out, you have to practice on the car. The same way that medicine is called a practice, and law is called a practice, and accounting is also called a practice. Because every year there is something new, and you need to practice these new techniques. So let's bring this to the car, upload it, and see how much we get on our dyno after we remap it. Mike. All right, we're back and final results are in. So from 150 horses, we went all the way up to 212 horse. There's a 50 horse increase here, pretty much everywhere. So let's say 90 to 150, 60, 110 to 160. Yeah, so it's pretty much a consistent 50 horse increase everywhere. Torque-wise, so we went from 375 to almost 575, not quite double, but 200 Newton meters more. It's consistent from all the way up from 1.8 all the way up to where maximum torque is. This is 2.5. And then, well, this is pretty much typical of every diesel. After maximum torque happens, it just goes down like that. The reason why that happens is because once it hits maximum torque, the VNT actually engages, so the boost gets lower. That's to prevent the engine from blowing up. So you have pretty much maximum boost here at the lowest RPM, then it tapers off going towards red line. So in overall, 50 horses and average of 150 Newton meter foot-pound increase.